MWG Plays, and today I'm going to teach any new player how to play an amateur with, as you can see, only tier 1 beginner evidence stuff, alright? So first, we're going to do Tanglewood. That's the first map I think everybody basically plays. I'm pretty sure it's the only one you can play. So first thing you're going to do here is you're going to want, because the breaker sword's on in amateur, so you don't want to bring temp because it's going to be hard to find the ghost room immediately. So what I recommend to do actually is to find your EMF, because I say it's the second most consistent thing, and temp is kind of inconsistent. Because you're going to want to bring this. Honestly, I'd recommend bringing a flashlight, which you can actually turn it on and just like leave it on so you don't have to be on the slot, just so you know that. And then you also should look for your objectives, right? So we need video camera, an incense, and photo camera. But I wouldn't worry about that at the beginning until you get all of your stuff. So probably bring a video camera just in case. Okay, so the ghost is pretty active. Make sure to grab the keys also. The ghost is pretty active on this difficulty, so hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to find the ghost room. And the doors are shut, so I just go around and kind of walk around here, and I'd check for EMF. Alright, I won't really open too many doors, honestly, right now, because if you don't open a door and it gets open, then most likely the ghost is in that area. Okay, see? Right here, I'm getting EMF, and I heard the door open. So the ghost is most likely here in this area. So I'm gonna throw my stuff down. I'm gonna throw my stuff down like this. You can keep your flashlight if you need to see. It depends how dark your screen is, which you also place the camera down. But I'm gonna throw my flashlight down because my screen's not too dark. But if your screen's too dark, then you can have it on just so you can find your way back out. And then the first thing you're gonna do now is open a closet on your path back. And so if the ghost hunts, you're gonna want to run here. Make sure you don't talk so you can mute yourself. Make sure you don't have any electronics on or anything. And then you're going to close this and basically sit here until you stop hearing the growling sounds. Now we're just going to bring in more evidence stuff. I would bring in the temp now just to make sure we have the right room. Then I'd bring in the book. And then I'd also bring in probably, it really depends here, it doesn't matter too much. I would bring in dots just so we can throw them down. So now we're going to go back inside the house here. And now we're going to make sure that the ghost is in here and it wasn't just roaming over here. So if you look at the temp when we're in here, it does start to drop here. So we can throw this on the floor and it will go down gradually. So we don't have to stay in here. However, we are getting some stuff thrown in the kitchen, as you can kind of hear. And we just got a ghost event there. So the ghost most likely is in here because we got all those events. Now, so you can even get videos of stuff happening. Like, we could have got a video of the ghost there. And now, I check for, we got EMF 5, you can see there. So now, we should turn on some lights to keep our sanity up. But anyways, now we got EMF 5. We're going to go into our book, we're going to go to evidence, and we're going to select EMF 5, so it rules out all the ghosts that don't have EMF 5. Okay. Now, we're going to make sure to put all of our stuff. So you can see that it's kind of going down here, but not too much. So let's go in here. Oh. Okay, see? The temp's going up in here, as you can tell. And going up in there also, which means the ghost is not in here. So even though we had the ghost event in here, the ghost is in this room, because if you go in here, the temp goes down. Okay? So, see? It can be hard to find the ghost room, especially with beginner equipment. But the ghost should be in this room because of the temperature dropping. Now we're going to put our notebook down. We'll put it in between both these rooms. As you can see, you have the radius, just so you can see both. And we just got a door touch there. So we can go check for UV, and I'm going to get that right now for stuff. But the big thing is just turning on lights leading to your room, because then you keep your sanity up. And then the ghost was less likely to hunt. So if you check UV here, we got a fingerprint. So that's our second piece of evidence, alright? We have handprints. So now we can go in here, and we can select UV. And if I heard right, our book... Oh, jeez. Oh, see? Oh, geez, just see the camera right at... Oh, check it downstairs. It's not very nice. It's all the way downstairs. Anyways, so now we narrowed it down after we got 2 pieces of evidence to 2 ghosts. Or, sorry, 5 ghosts. And also, it can be ghost writing because on this difficulty, if it throws the book, it can't be ghost writing. So, it means it's one of these 4 ghosts. And now these ghosts can be kind of hard to identify. especially on difficulty like this when you don't have all the stuff. So you can see we got some more fingerprints there. Though we're gonna have to keep checking. So we can check for temps here. Temps going down. As you can see, if it gets to 32, it is freezing, but it's not quite getting there. Now I won't quite rule it out yet, but most likely we won't get freezing temps. Also, another good tip is to leave the lights off in the ghost room, because it's more likely to do interactions that way. And we're actually getting really, really close to freezing here, so we could get freezing. I closed this door so I can see the dots better. As you can see, I can see the dots better with the door closed. Now I stand out here for a few seconds, wait, and you can see some videos of it throwing stuff. You get extra money for that, which to check that, you go in the media journal and see you can get all this stuff. However, you don't unlock sound and photo camera until a bit later on. So you can even get door move interactions. And then once again, if you check this UV, we got UV in there. Alright, so if you ever hear a door move and you don't get UV, especially on this difficulty, then it's most likely not UV. Or it could technically be an opaque, but let's not get into that right now. Recently, let's keep checking temps. Oh, look how close that was to temps. Tier 1 temps is pretty infamous for not being very good. Oh. It's an event there. Alright, so how could I tell I was an event? Because it can be pretty difficult. It closed the door of the room I'm in, so it can't close the door of the room you're in if it's an event. Right? Because that would be kind of unfair, because it could just trap you in there, right? So, once again, if you check this UV, we got UV. On this difficulty, I believe it cannot hide UV, or like, not show it every time. But it can be difficult, especially as beginners, to know if it's hunting or not. But events usually, you can't really describe it to a new player, but when you play the game a lot, you can tell, like, it's a lot of different sounds, during those compared to during hunts. Okay, one more thing about the game I'm going to show you guys. Is there's something called a cursed item, and there's one in every map for the most part. I mean, it depends on difficulty, but in amateur there will be one in every map. And they're in the same spot every time, but it depends what it is. So, I'm not sure what this one is, to be honest. See, tarot cards will be right there, so it's not that. Not mirror. So I think it has to be voodoo doll. If there is one in amateur. Or not voodoo doll, music box, I mean. So it is music box. So this is the cursed item. So I'm going to show you how cursed items work, okay? So for your music box, we can play it. We can place it down, and the ghost will go over there. Then I believe it'll start hunting. See? And when bad, it starts hunting. So now you can hear it. It's walking. And it's hunting. So when it hunts, you have to go inside our closet. And once again, turn off your electronics. Don't talk. I'm talking right now because I press a button and it goes to speech, so I'm able to talk. But if you have voice to text on, if you talk right now, I would be dead because it would have found me by now. So you have to make sure you do that. And you can hide in the closet, and then you should be okay. Now I wait until I stop hearing those sounds, which I have now, so I can go check to see if the front door is unlocked, which it is, and so the hunt's over. However, since I hunted there, my sanity is a lot lower. Now I'm going to check temps again. I'm getting really close, but we're not quite getting there. Remember, we have EMF 5 and we have UV. We don't have ghost rating. But now I'm going to check for a spirit box. I haven't checked for that at all. So I'm going to stand here. I'm basically just going to ask the ghost questions. On PC, I believe you actually physically ask the questions. On this, you don't really do that. So as you can see there, we have EMF 5. So the ghost should be a rat right here then. And we're asking spirit box, and we're not getting anything, so most likely we don't have spirit box in. Look at temp, it's still not freezing. So this ghost is actually a bit difficult. Okay, it's not doing a whole ton of stuff. If I had to guess right now, it'd be Goryo. Because Goryos have a special ability where they only show dots in the video camera. You see that? Okay. So, I need to explain something to you guys. Basically, Goryos can only show dots in a video camera, and you can only see it if you're not in the room. So you can see right there, I was testing for it because I was standing outside the room. And you can see there for a second, it showed the dots on the camera, but it didn't show it in the actual room. So that's pretty cool. I didn't get a video of it because it didn't do it for long enough. But anyway, so now I can mark off dots projector, and now I know confidently that the ghost I have is a Goryo. So basically, that's how you do it on as your first game ever. You basically just only worry about the evidence stuff. Don't worry about the objectives. I'd say at the beginning, you know, stay confident. Don't be scared. Don't be in the van all the time. That's a big thing. You know, ghost hunts are pretty short in this. Just run to your hiding spot and be quiet, and make sure you don't have any electronics on, and you should be good. And keep lights on and keep your sandy up. So this here's sandy. If it drops below like 50-ish usually, then you're in a big danger for it to start to hunt. Mine right now is pretty good. But your sandy goes down if you have a lot of ghost events, so like the ghost will pop up or you hear stuff, or if you're in the dark a lot, it'll drain. But if you have lights on, you should be good for the most part. Unless it does a bunch of events that will drain your sandy. But see right there? You can record this stuff, and you see we got dots of the ghost. So it's a Goryo, that means. And see, we even got a video there. So if you look at this, evidence of a physical form, and if you go to media, we got, that's extra $10. So now, when you want to leave, we actually got this objective anyways, but when you want to leave, basically, since we know what the ghost is, make sure you go to evidence, have Goryo circled, and then we're going to press this little keypad here. If you have any questions, please reach out, please ask me, and I really appreciate it. As you can see, it's a Goryo, you can skip it. You're not going to get a ton of money in amateur, but it'll be enough to level you up, especially at the beginning of the game. Anyways, thank you guys, and peace and good luck.